Hey guys, what's up? It's AppleCritics from AppleCritics.com. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the latest and greatest software update for the iPad, and this one is iPadOS 14 Beta 3. So iPadOS 14 Beta 3 is home to a bunch of features, so in this video I'm going to be going in depth and letting you know what is new when it comes to the particular features of iPadOS 14 Beta 3. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this video started. So to start off, iPadOS 14 Beta 3 was just released for developers. Now, it always goes to developers first, and then the public beta will be here soon. So that is very reassuring. So if you're looking forward to the public beta, it's right around the corner. Now, in terms of the overall update side, it came to 647.9 megabytes, which is quite a large update. Now, I was coming from Beta 2, so even from Beta 2 to Beta 3, it was 647.9 megabytes, which is a pretty hefty update, I must say. Now, taking a closer look in settings, and then going into general, and then about, you'll see that for the software version, we're on iPadOS 14, and for the build number, we are on 18A5332F. So that is the build number. So it means that it's getting closer and has more stability overall, because whenever it has a letter, it indicates how close it is. So before it was closer to the end of the alphabet, but now it is closer to the earlier parts of the alphabet. So that means that it is shoring up some of the issues that are prevalent. Now, when we take a look at the widgets, Apple showed a notification that the widgets were now refreshed, and it briefly talked about the jiggle mode. It's just a new prevalent pop-up message that is now a part of iPadOS 14. So what was interesting with this widget is that we now have some new widgets to take a look at. So some widgets actually have been disappearing after updating to Beta 3, so you might have to do them all over again, and that is just something that's prevalent. So let's say, for example, the weather widget may go back to Cupertino instead of your current location. So that was one of the issues that I noticed with these widgets. Now, I also did notice, if you take a look at the bottom right here, you're going to see that we have that new music icon. So the music icon is now red, and that basically indicates whether you have the Beta 3 installed or not. So that new music icon is basically the same as iOS 7, and it's just like a throwback to it. So that was very interesting. Now, in terms of going back to the widgets, you can just go back into jiggle mode. And then what we can do is just tap on the plus button. Now, if we take a closer look at the music widgets, we're going to see that we have the new recently played music widget. So this recently played music widget allows you to quickly access recently played albums or playlists. So you can see that we have that small widget for the music widget. And then we can go to the next one. So we have a somewhat medium widget, which offers about 4 songs that you recently have played. So that gives you some more depth and variety. And then we have this rather large favorites mix widget. So with this favorite mix widget, you have about 8 songs and 8 different albums and playlists that you have that you recently played. And that widget is just pretty extensive and very robust, to say the least, because it has a lot of different songs that you've been playing. So what we can do is just simply add that widget. And now you can see that it goes just right to the bottom right there. And you can see how much space that this new widget does actually take up. So it's relatively good to see that we finally get some music widgets. Now, before we didn't even have any music widget at all. So that is also good to see. Now, there also is a new widget for the clock. And then we can see that we can just tap on clock. And now you're going to see that we have a variety of options for the particular clock widget. So what we can do is just take a look and see that we just have the normal one for your current city. So we just have just one, and then we can go over to the next one, which is the world clock, which shows 4 different times around the world. Now, an interesting hidden feature about this is that actually the ones that are in white indicates that it's in daytime, and the one that is black indicates that it is nighttime in that current city. And that is just a very subtle thing that Apple chose to do. And then we have the final widget, which is landscape, and it shows the 4 different times right there. So that is also a very interesting that it has just that widget. So what we can do is just simply add that widget. And now you can see that we have the Cupertino time, we have the Tokyo time, the Sydney time, and then the Paris time as well. So it also tells you the particular time difference from your current time zone as well. So you can see that is what that widget allows you to do. Now it's really easy to edit the clock widget as well. So all you have to do is just simply tap and hold. And now you just press edit widget. And then when we take a look at the world clock, we can view the time in multiple cities around the world. So you can see that we have the following. So we have Cupertino, Tokyo, Sydney, and Paris. So what we can do is just simply edit it by simply tapping on it. And then we're going to see that once we tap on it, we're going to see that we have all these different cities around the world that we can adjust the time to. So we can see that there's a great variety overall. And now I do like how it actually blurs out the whole screen and gives you a nice look when you just blur out everything behind it. Now I also noted that the music widget has just a red base as the background color, which is also very interesting. Now I did notice that just the overall widgets are not resizable, so you just have to remove it to add a new one. So you can't just choose having the largest widget be just the small widget that just shows one time on the clock, for example. Or let's say, for example, the music widget that only just shows one music album that you're listening to at the time. You can't do much about it. But in the release notes, Apple did give us hope, as they said it is not resizable and that it is a known issue, so that might change. So once again, it might be possible in the final version of iPadOS 14 that we get a chance to just resize the widgets. Now there's also some known problems about the weather widget as well. So when you wanted to add the widget to your particular weather, but at least have to restart the iPad 4 times before it would work. So that is definitely a known issue and a bug within iPadOS 14 Beta 3. Now, overall, iPadOS 14 just brings many bug fixes. The widgets do stay active instead of being unresponsive, so you can adjust them to some extent, but they're not smart widgets. Now, some widgets are sometimes just blank for no reason, such as the one right above. So I can just take a look, and this one is just blank for no reason. So hopefully Apple will fix that. Now, the music app also does have a new feature, so we can go into the music app. So let's say, for example, we find a song that we like and we want to share it. So what we can do is actually share it to Snapchat now. So that is a new feature. So all you have to do is simply tap on the 3 dots and then press share. And then we have the option to share to Snapchat now. Now, before we had the option just to share to Instagram and Facebook stories, but now you can share it to our Snapchat story. So it will create the story. And now if we take a look at our Snapchat story, you're going to see that it'll have the song right there. And then it's also going to show that we have the Apple Music logo, and it will automatically start playing the song as well. So you can see that is the new Snapchat share feature on iPadOS 14 Beta 3. So another major feature that was fixed with iPadOS 14 Beta 3 that was a major issue on iPadOS 14 Beta 2 was the storage problem. So essentially with a storage problem, what would happen is that there would be a huge chunk of storage being used up as a bug of the Beta 2 update. So that was a major issue that was finally fixed in Beta 3. So that was an issue that everybody noticed. That's why Apple had to push out iPadOS 14 Beta 3 very quickly. So that was a major issue. So once again, that other bug is fixed. So those are the major features of iPadOS 14 Beta 3. So you can see that there wasn't too many major features, but there's a lot of smaller features that Apple has been refining since they released iPadOS 14 Beta 1. Now, some of the key highlights I noticed was definitely the new music widget, the new clock widget, and also the share to Snapchat feature. And there's overall some small improvements in terms of the battery life, and the overall fluidity of the software is still pretty good. So that is iOS 14 Beta 3. So hopefully you thoroughly enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button down below. Also sure to smash that subscribe button down below. And be sure to check out all the other videos on my channel. Be sure to check out applecritics.com for latest Apple news, and more. Like my Facebook fan page, facebook.com/applecritics. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/apple. And follow me on Instagram. My Instagram username is applecritics. And be sure to subscribe for more great content. And thanks for watching.